Hi, I'm Seamless, and today is Sunday, which means it's time to actually continue the track from scratch streams, which have been taking lots of beatings in terms of scheduling and whatever. But we're now finally continuing the drum and bass track, and it's been a very long time since I've actually seen this track, so this will be very interesting. Okay, some questions. Who's the picture behind you on the wall? It's my family. That's what that is. It's my dad. My brother, my dad, my sister's boyfriend, my brother's wife, his son, my dad, and his wife. Those are who that is. And me. I'm in there too. So I have all this stuff. I have this intro, and I have some other stuff, but I really, I listened to it before the stream started, and I really don't like this intro, at all. The only real sure thing I have so far in this track is this drop. So let's have a listen to this drop and see what it sounds like. That's what that sounds like. So I'm going to begin work from here, and because I hate all things intro, I'm just going to keep working on the drop. This will be the beginning of the A drop, and then I'll finish the A drop and make the B drop, and then I'll figure out what the hell I'll do for the intro, because then I'll use that for the break and the rise of the second part. Then I'll make a second drop and the outro, and that'll be the track. So some of this dough sounded a little odd to me. So let's kind of look at what we got going on. Drums and samples. What the hell are samples? All the drums. Okay, so I put all the drums in here. Oh, I must have Superior Drummer. So I have Superior Drummer involved. That's right, because this is the SD. It's going into here. It's going in here, going to SD, going into drums total. So this is SD, and then there's samples. So that's what that is. That's what's going on. And then sidechain is where all the synths are going into. Yeah. That's what a sidechain signal sounds like without the things that are causing the sidechain being audible. Some of this bass, though, kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I think it was this guy. Underruns? How dare you? What's my buffer doing? 256. Ugh. I can't change it because I have so many FLs open. Well, we're just going to have to live with it. I guess I could turn off aliasing, anti-aliasing. No effect. How much would I bet this bass doesn't require that much processing? That is to say, not turn on advanced. It's not even on advanced. It's on average. Right. Well, let's so I have a reverb on here that I'm automating. Is that what's up? Must be in the Hummer. Or not. What's causing that reverb? Oh, the Convolver. And I'm doing the P controller thing. Okay, so that's what's up. Let's. Now the point of this guy was to be very mid-heavy, very percussive sounding, and it's a little too mid-heavy. messing with the wrong thing. That pluck's not even on. It's probably this guy. What am I doing in that pattern? Alright, that's what that is. This delay. Okay, so I'm doing the filtering manually. I'm doing like archaeology on my own track here, trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. So what I want to do here is I want to go into this pluck shape, kind of screw with it for a little bit. Why is there bass coming out of this? Jeez. I'm probably distorting it with something. Yeah. It's not the same thing. This guy. What is that guy? I need to deal with this underrunning issue, and do that. I need to increase my buffer. Normally, like when you do this yourself, you can just go to options and move the buffer up and down if you're using ASA overall, if you're using the regular audio processor on your computer. However, I'm using a different driver, which means I have to do it the way that driver decides it wants to do it. So I have to turn off my mic. I have to turn off this other project I have open, and I might have to turn off XSplit. I hope I don't have to do that. BRB. Well, after a short break, we're back. Now that I've fixed stuff. Okay, we're back at what we're doing. So I'm gonna let's go back to the correct window. The correct window. See what the chat's doing. We can hear you breathing. Oh wait, I might have accidentally. No, that should be right. Or did I undo? It's possible. Test. Turn it off. Okay. Now we're good. I had that on by accident. I didn't want that on. All right. Okay. Not gonna leave it like that because they won't be able to hear anything. Okay. It's a good thing I caught that because it doesn't actually sound like that from my end. I know what it sounds like because I've seen it, but I don't hear it happening. Like I said, there's an echo. There's an actual echo, but the doubling up of sounds is not something that I can hear on my end. All right, now we can actually hear what's happening. So what is this? All right, not a bad sound, but it's too mid-heavy. That's a dope sound. It's the pig bass, you guys. Timing is everything. Might just. That's pretty dope. Of course, in the track, it's probably not gonna sound nearly as awesome. Yep, because that's there. Did I even do the right notes? Yeah, sure, why not? That sounds fine. That was better anyway. Do I need to introduce smoothing? I think it might. No. No, I don't. I recognize this is a modified version of Phase Warp 19. Oh, the fan turned back on. Hence the name, Phase Warp 19. We're getting there. Notice how when I up the panning all the way up, the sort of the quality of the bass changes. It's not just that this, like the non-pan version is the non-pan version of the sound. Like when we separate this, we're basically separating them into two distinct channels, left and right. And that means that they're not being distorted against each other. They're being distorted just in the left and just in the right. And that means that the qualities that we get when they are being distorted together are not present when we increase the stereo separation. So that's why I am very careful about stereo on bass at this stage anyway. And you saw how even changing the number of voices had an incredible impact on this particular sound. This particular sound is automating this thing down so that the wobble that comes from the detune is free to be its own thing. The particular phase of the sound is determined by the note, how long, and the reason why this is because depending on the note, remember pitch equals speed. And if it's a higher note or a lower note, then particular harmonics spend a particularly different time at particularly different pitches, which means particularly different speeds. And how out of phase they get while they're in the unison of two different voices will be different as a result. And so when we collapse it back down, because we're not changing the phases to come back to zero. We're stopping them from moving any further. So wherever they got to in the time that it spent being unison, where you could even see in this voice that it was up and then it came down a little bit. When it comes back down, the phases don't return. So that's why it's different for every note. Also, different velocities matter because this is all pre-distortion. So that's a lot of fun. This, I believe, was a granulizer. Yep. And it's just doing stuff, and I'm automating things, and it's doing a good time. I'm automating a band peak for some reason, and I'm doing the whole spore volume automation business, which is what's causing that. So let's follow my own advice about how to write arrangements and go ahead and double this. Boink. So we'll call this guy our big fill for the 8 bars. Shift 0. Now let's change this pattern up a little bit. So D up to D. Let's go D down to D. Let's do that. Sure. Can't even hear that against the actually, yeah, let's make this a much higher. You can come back down to other D. And instead of doing that again, I'm actually going to bring in the other bass. It's very interesting behavior. I'm going to change up the percussive things too. I gotta align the automation to fit that too, so that's gonna be interesting. Where was I? Right here. Dude. Let's kind of make this guy fit to match, right? Let's do that. Actually, instead of doing that, I'm actually going to do the actual original pattern, but with this other bass. This is already a unique pattern, right? Yeah, okay. But this is already really high, so let's go back down low. This is a problem with the detune basses, because while the fundamental tone is staying put, every other harmonic is moving up in pitch. And it's moving up far enough that this might as well be another semitone, but you know, the bass is still the bass, but we can't tell. Like, it still sounds like it's the wrong pitch. But I have half a heart, half a mind. I am of halves to say, fuck it. You know, actually, instead of this, I'm going to bring back this guy. Now, is one of these a filter? No, it's just this thing. Let's set this up to be pitch is percent. Nice. It's a little too dissonant for my taste, so I'm going to do something for just then. I'm going to automate the pitch a little bit. Having no effect. Why is that? I really should keep this in the right group. See, it's not actually the pitch that's doing it. That's causing to make it sound like it's out of pitch. It's actually one of the other parameters. Of course, against that sound, like this sound. Ooh, that's way cooler. I changed it because I made it pitch to percentage and it's a new note now, so now it sounds different than it originally. I was worried that was going to fuck it up too much, but it didn't. It's pretty dope, actually. I like it when things sound good and they are a result of absolutely no real intention on my part. I shouldn't continue this note. forget what this guy even does. It's green, so it's probably a phaser at some point. Not the filter. Now this very familiar sounding drum pattern. And what I mean by familiar is not so much that we've heard before, because we have, but that it's super specific. So that means that when it's repeated, it's very obvious that it's been repeated. So we want to make it different. How am I doing this? I think I got that right. Nope. But that snare is bugging me. I really have no EQ on the snare at all. Beat change. All right, so I gotta make this different. Because this is the end of the A drop, I want to make something spectacular happen at the end. Or at least try to. So what's funny is that this is not a pitch percent, which means that these percentages, are, you know, in the pitches are what are the starting point of the sample. However, if I still pitch slide, it's not going to like scan through the position. It'll actually still change in pitch, which is interesting. Perhaps instead of yeah, that wasn't the idea. Still a little hectic, chaotic, not terribly. Like some of the flow is cool, but some of the flow is not. So it requires more finagling. Let's see what the chat's saying. Seamless is secretly seamless. I have to admit, I am secretly seamless. I look like Korn's vocalist. I used to know that dude's name. Bro, do some Maverick bass lines. Well, you know, I see what you're saying. I see that you're saying it. And you're saying it a lot. I don't know what that means. I make hammer bases for Korn, dumbass. Korn. Wow, okay. Some guy lays eggs. Make that kick for a hammer. So we're apparently having a Korn fight. Joe Ford bass? This isn't really a Joe Fordy song. Have I ever pirated something? Totally. Make a song like Shitbox by Noise, yeah. I probably have heard that song, but I don't quite recall what that is at the moment. Make a song without using Patcher or Hammer. Well, I mean, I did used to make songs before either of those things existed, so there are some tracks I've made that don't use them. Let's try and get this arrangement down. What's happening right here? It's this thing. So now I've done something to the this guy. It sounds weird. Ooh. Oh, I turned it off. I ain't listening to this at full volume because the mixes sounds weird even in a half volume. So I have to, there's some things you need to pinpoint. Let's do that. So I'm going to turn off my mic. I'll be right back. That's a little better. What's the chat saying? Hey guys, who's this Seamless guy? Hi, I'm Seamless. Orange soda. Something about goat testicles. Goat testicles. That's a word. I'm out of orange soda. I'm out of all sodas. Search for the Maverick. Search for the Maverick. Search on for the Maverick. Joe Ford Model T. Snappier and have less tail. The standard doesn't really have much of a tail to begin with. It could. Man, all of it sounds weird at half volume, but like whatever. That's all final stuff to kind of deal with. I killed Osama with base. There's probably more than one individual on Earth named Osama. Pogo. Any thoughts on Moody Good? I did look at that track that people were all talking about. I've never heard of the guy before that, and it's cool. It was a very interesting bass. It was very cool. What do I think of old school electronic music producers? Well, they're pretty much old school. See, you need to. Is there a? Yeah, I don't know what timeout does, but it's you now. That has done nothing. I'm just gonna good day, sir. Okay. Now on the Seamless live stream, moderating is Eddie from 16-bit. That makes sense. 16-bit's pretty badass, and Moody Good is pretty dope as well. All right. Well, since we're not doing much else, let's continue to twag. We're almost done. We got like 18 minutes left in the stream. Although it did start a bit early, but we're fine. We're good. And then I got to edit the two halves together because I had to stop halfway through, but whatever. That I know is a chorus problem. I was about to come here and do the cut thing, but I say I already did. So that's cool. Welcome to what that sounds like really, really low. All right, we got about 5 minutes. Let's answer some questions. Man, I obviously don't know how to use this chat app. That's all there is to that. So I click on this guy and I say ban. Does that do something? Produce a drop without listening to it. That's a thing I might have done at one point. Another spammer. It's probably that's the same dude. I don't remember the number. I didn't get it. I don't know that. Like, whatever. This is why I usually have George be a mod, but George is not here, so there's too much for that. There's too much happening. How do you make a pixely base? If it's probably some regular acid kind of based. How to find a right type of music that I want to create? How should I find out? I think I want to make let's help because I want to play guitar. What do you think? Make the music you want to make. How do you not know what you want to make? Like, make music you like, I guess. I mean, if you want to go from like a practical standpoint of being like, what can I make? What am I able to make? And you have a guitar, then play metal. You know, be metal. Reverbing bass. I do reverb bass. There's actually a reverb on the bass in here, and I took it off kind of fairly early. I have the reverb on the bass sound, but I don't have the reverb on the bass frequencies. I don't have on the high frequencies. But sometimes I do have the bass on all the frequencies because sometimes the rumbly, woofy stereo-ness sounds cool. Any tips for making my own FM basses in Citrus? I have thousands of tips. All of them are immortalized in videos on my YouTube channel. How do you get Harmer to have a stronger attack? Have a weak attack, even when I use internal envelope. It's pretty hard, pretty snappy attack. I mean, the pluck, use the pluck knob, pretty attacky. You can layer that in like on the B part with the A part and just kind of increase the initial hit. How do you make an acid 808 bass from scratch? I don't know that acid 808 bass is a thing. If you're talking about an acid bass, it's just a saw wave that's distorted and then low pass with a high resonance. That's pretty much that. And 808 is a kick. So you're just putting words together, which I mean, I might not know what you're talking about. It might be a thing, a real thing. Well, ever make big room? Go look at some of the earlier. Actually, no, you wouldn't have been there. So sometimes in pre-streams, like pre-shows, I'll make a big room track in 5 minutes, and then I'll never show it to anybody ever again. Have I tried Bitwig? I have not. Have you ever tried sine compression? So sine compression is a term that didn't exist until Frequent started saying it, and like, this is what I like about Frequent. Like, Frequent is actually he's a fairly new producer, but he's really good. Like, his bass productions are astounding, but he's still like, his terminology is a little silly. And I'm not trying to like rip on the guy because he's a really cool dude, but like sine compression, like, because sometimes people like this guy, he'll be like, oh, how do you do sine compression? I'm like, oh, what's sine compression? I've never heard of that. And then I Google it, and then it turns out only Frequent shows up. And sine compression is basically the act of starting with a sine wave and destroying it so hard that it has harmonics, and then you make a bass out of that. And that's what that means. And to say, yes, I have tried that. And it's a thing. It's cool. It's neat. I prefer to start with saw waves, personally. This guy loves me too much. Well, then I suggest that you lower the level that you love me, if you love me too much. Gross beat is cool. It's a bit hard to control. I pretty much just stick to the presets. I just kind of jumble them around. The presets are pretty good. I've maybe only once or twice actually made for real, like, a preset in gross beat for myself. Who will be the next guest on Seamless Live? Whoever I can get. Do I like breaks? I love breaks. How will the video look considering it shut down a while ago? Look fine. I mean, I'll just edit it together in Adobe Premiere Pro and just put part 1 and part 2, and then it'll go. So I have to actually get used to saying part 1 with my right hand and part 2 with my left hand, so because I know that you guys read left to right, but your left is my right. So I have to go from beginning to end so that it makes sense to you guys and seem like, oh, the end of the beginning. What are we, Eastern people? Because they read right to left in some countries. Elliot Berger is pretty cool. Raziel is pretty cool. 50 followers on SoundCloud is pretty cool. Do you always have inspiration for every track you start? Not really. Tips for loud mixdowns, compression. Favorite free drum packs. The FL stock tables. Black metal mastering. There's no such thing as black metal mastering. What synth do you prefer to make leads on? Harmer. Oh boy. What are we, Eastern people? Precisely. What is that extra perk in the background? It's a Harmer with a pluck. I made it in an earlier video. All right, we're pretty much done. I think this was day 3 of DnB. I wonder how long I've been working on this track. 7 hours. That's a lot longer than 3 streams. I probably had it open from time to time to look at it and listen to it, but like, it's actually. Okay, so this is accurate. It says it started on January 3rd. That might have actually been what happened. I don't know that happened then. It's kind of a while ago. I don't know. I have another one that said I started in September of this year, so it's obviously the start times could be a little weird. Anyway, I want to try and make the track from scratch streams every Sunday, and if I have a guest, I'll do it on Saturday. If I don't have a guest, it'll just be me by myself, and we'll do Q&A, kind of like what we're doing now. Only instead of snide answers, I'll actually answer things functionally and with education in mind. So if you have any questions about any of this, let me know. And as usual, have a nice day.